Hello and welcome. Oh, okay, that's well. So that must be the last of the sold bales from the biogas plant. Fantastic. So there'll be no little tick ups anymore. Yeah, I have a deal's a deal. So what I've done is I have unticked tipside indicator. We have got this in, and we've got 53-foot drop deck. The one thing I'm going to do, and this is not really for me per se, is I've still left the time-saving stock check on because it draws all of the information to one screen. That's its only purpose, really. And obviously, as a content creator, I do find it very useful for drawing your attention to what products we've got. The one problem we do have is in the base game there are an awful lot of things you can't sell, and we've got fertilizer coming out of our ears now, but we can't sell it. We would need to stick a sell point down, a bit like in the slurry yard in FS19. It was a mod that was brought in so that you could sell your digestate and slurry and your manure, which I don't know that. I think you could sell the manure in there, but it was a pitiful amount. It really was pitiful when you consider it's used as a fertilizer spreader with the right piece of equipment, so therefore is invaluable. So, and digestate likewise is exactly the same as slurry, liquid fertilizer that's absolutely full of nitrates and worth a fortune, really. So obviously that was brought in to do that. Now, base game, if you look at that, I have nowhere that I can actually sell that. It shows me the max value is 105,000. But there is no sell point because it's a base game map. So, yeah, I would request your information, especially yours, Marty. Do I put in a sell point, or do I just, like, I've got lots of fertilizer and I don't ever need to make any more again? Which then makes the question of, why do I need digestate unless I was going to buy a slurry spreader, which... that's not a bad idea because we could run with that. Well, we've got loads of fertilizer now, so we could run with fertilizer forever till the end of this Let's Play. But going forwards, the digester has only got the thing that we no longer need to afford. There does come a point, though, in any farmer's thing where you've got well more than you need, and that is, let's be honest, Farmer Simulator is about selling those excesses through productions, and you need a market to sell that to. So... to me, right, anyway, let's talk and work at the same time. Instead of going straight into a time lapse, let's immediately do a headland instead. Space, not enter. Yes, so I am sort of, yeah, in a way, in a bit of a dilemma because there's nothing I can do with it because the base game doesn't allow me to do it. And this is one of those things that I was sort of saying is a bit of a flaw in the game itself, in so much as Giants want, well, I don't know, because Giants do want productions. It's sort of like a change of direction in Giants, the productions, but they've not fully embraced it, or else the base game would be slightly different in looks. So, yeah, I've got to... Now, this is still the edge of the field, sort of, but I think it... well, I don't know, it seems to be dragging this... where you get to see the funny looking glass, really. I don't know if that is the edge of the field, or whether it's just... this is where we mowed last time. It is still our field, so I'm not sure anymore. It's blurred the lines a little bit, but it is grass. So we can actually make extra bales, so I'm not worried. Yeah, so I am asking your opinion on what do we do. Do we... basically stick a sale point on and just leave that mod ticked, because it is technically a mod. I have really no other means of selling it other than I will have a massive amount of fertilizer, whether that was still as digestate for using as a, or whether I'm converting it to fertilizer. We've got too much, and that is really the name of the game, is that you sell your excess product that it has got value. Well, it's got value, the game recognises it's got value. Unfortunately, I don't have a market for that value, so that is a bit of a problem, really. I think I'm extending this somewhat, but yeah, you are allowed to sort of go along the field edge, even in contracts, as long as you're on the line, or yeah, on the edge of the thing, and then your left mower would go over that line. That's my golden rule that I worked out a long time ago with contracts. As long as you, yeah, if I was on the field edge like that, I won't get the message. Whereas if I go out, go figure. It definitely says that with the baler anyway. Yeah, so normally you get that message to say this is not your land, which of course it isn't, right? Now then, yeah, we will allow them. I think, yeah, they'll leave it. I don't know what they do. They go, yeah, leave a massive, like, corner section there, always, even though you've already cut that. So it is weird. Right, we need the proper, we need one of the other big ones, actually. Yeah, the Forterra. I'm trying to keep remembering its name. Do we? Yeah. Let's give the John Deere an outing, I say. Is the Anderson, did I run that back, or did I leave it here? I think I took it back last time, I'm sure I did. Right, smashing. Yeah, so we're going to do the baling with this. Yeah, so I do ask your opinion on this, because it is true, the game recognises that it has got an awful lot of value. We've got 100 and odd grams worth of thing, but unfortunately on this particular map there is no market. So do we take that to foreign markets, as in the sell all products production sale point, which would mean me ticking another box? That is the question. Do we allow that in the game? I mean, because technically it's a mod. The base game does not. It recognises the value of it, but won't let me have the value of it. I can't sell it anywhere. So, yeah, I'm not sure what we do. Or, I mean, again, we've got fertiliser now coming out of our ears, which is amazing. We don't need to buy any, so it's saving us a fortune. But we've got well too much. We'd never use that in an entire Let's Play, and obviously we've still got more. I think I left it here in the middle, I remember. Yeah, so they really do ask for your opinion, really, on this matter, because it's, again, I've never been in this dilemma, because I don't normally not play without mods, but, I mean, I don't mind doing it, but the game, as I said, sort of has got certain flaws now that it's turned on automatic drop. Right, smash it. And now, what bale size have I got over? I don't know what 301 means. I have no idea what that means at all. I really don't. No, the bale sizes are normally different to that I'm used to seeing, so I don't know what that's about. Anyway, I'm going to go into a time lapse now, because this is all we've got to do. We've got to do this session, which means these bales will be ready on September morning, about 9ish, 9:30. Well, ish, for the first lot anyway. Yeah, but for now, all that remains to be said is I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. What? Breaking the time lapse from me, because I have never. I apologise for this, but yeah, what on earth is the worker doing? Why have they gone down and then stopped that amount down when there was no reason why they couldn't continue down? And these are the type of things I'm trying to say about programmatical errors in the game. There was no reason for that. Absolutely none. Now the worker is going the right way. I've not got anything on like a Courseplay engine or anything like that. I'm not paying attention to my bales now because that's flabbergasted me. Yeah, I was looking at it, I was thinking, what? Why is that worker turning around when there's absolutely nothing in their way? There's no reason for them doing that. And this is what I was trying to say. There's something not right with the game, and these are the little indicators. I haven't got any mods on other than the production shared, and that is not going to cause that kind of error. And I've got the Mack Trucker 53 foot, which equipment I've never known equipment ever to affect the base game. So this one where Giants say, you know, the mods in your game, we're not responsible for it. Well, I've not got any on, really. So you are responsible for the game itself. I believe you made it and it's not working right. So, and this is really a prime evidence of that fact, because we've only got really base game stuff, which we've looked in my thing. The only thing that breaks that is the 53 foot drop deck by Mack Trucker and the production shed, which has absolutely nothing to do whatsoever with all of this. Let's quickly dart, because it's going to come this way, and then a bale in the way will definitely, as it did in the last session about this very spot, will do something. So let's dart to the top and leave this, drop it as far up as we can do, but let's lift the pickup at that time. See if we can nudge it a little. Actually, it's still a little bit too close for my, because they do really do. Oh, this is where something like the bale pusher is invaluable. It is absolutely an amazing bit of kit that really, and it is, yeah, most of the time works with workers too, actually, as I sort of proved in Neverland and one of the other Court Farms. It didn't work quite perfectly, but yeah, I don't think that was down to the bale pusher. I think it was positional, which that can happen anywhere really. But yeah, bottom line is, yeah, the bale pusher is, even with workers, as long as it's in the down position, that is the secret to it. Don't have it up, it's got to be down for it to do its magic. And then it really is most of the time usable even by workers. It is, it's quite amazing. Grass doesn't seem that, mind you, this was the outside section, so it may well be that it was a little bit more sparse than normal, because yeah, it's I don't know if it's completely proper grass, or also it won't be fertilised. It'll be base game grass, because it does seem a very sparse thing on this side. With the, yeah, it's not like it's unbroken normally and quite chunky. This is definitely broken. Yeah, broken line where there's gaps in between. So anyway, I'm going to go back into the time lapse. I just wanted to draw your attention to that. I'm hoping in editing I remember that there's a slight break in the time lapse. Otherwise, you'll never hear me speaking about this, which is not the first time I have done such things. It was a session on this very map a couple of sessions ago where I was explaining about something where I'd forgotten I'd done that, and then I'd chuckled to myself because it was all in the time lapse. So you'll never hear what I got to say. But then again, I'm quite sure I probably mentioned it again. So yeah, I think I did later on in the session, because I knew that I'd lost it, or the next session. There was something that was missing that I'd not said that was, yeah, that was unique, but not earth-shattering, she would say. Right, fantastic. Right, okay then. So I'm going to go back into the time lapse here, because this is a bit of a mind-numbing task for yourselves, for me to chatter for probably at least an hour, yeah, of real time. So I am going to say my words again now. I really don't want to drop this, even if it means, yeah, because this is the up and the down. Oh no, I just missed it at the minute. Let's try and push that across the headland, and let's lift that pickup. They don't like being pushed though by tractors. They really, really are not. They don't talk tractor bales. They only talk bale. That was very lucky. That was a double wheel. That was, I'll have to remember that one. So it's not as, I do apologise, that was a little bit tighter than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, they do. So double narrows do slightly work on pushing bales, or they did this time, because I've had such breakthroughs before. I think, oh, that works, and then I'll try again, and actually, well, it only worked just that time because you were lucky. So we shall see. Yeah, look, what is that middle section of the field about? There was no environmental factors affecting the worker at all. It just suddenly had an aberrant, weird, I'm not going down that field for no particular reason. It's very odd. And this is what I was saying, why did the stones drop on the opposite side of the car park, where I'd never even been with stones at that point? I'd only bought stones in the shop. So again, weirdnesses, random weirdnesses, like you buy stones and for some reason the game spills one of your bags somewhere on the map. What's that about? I mean, that's what programmatically has happened. Spillage has occurred somewhere else on the map. That's odd. It is, and that is a giant problem, not a modest. Yeah, this has got to a stage now with the game breakdowns where, especially when you're playing without mods, it was quite funny. I was literally trying to find the tip side HUD indicator, which is in T, as you'd imagine it was, but I couldn't find it. I went literally, there were a sea of unticked boxes. A sea. Oh, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. Yeah, I didn't want to leave it in the grass. Oh, like probably with me that's clearing this up. Ah, it does talk that. No, and that's what I'm expecting. Yeah, it doesn't talk bale for very long. You were a bit lucky. You probably hit it on the. Yeah, you probably did a bit of that, where it's not actually all in one. Yeah, sort of works though. I suppose it's still a trick. It doesn't like. No, that is real. Yeah, I've also switched the proper. This is the Giants tip side, game saver, not the game saver mod. So, no. At least the workers, unlike Courseplay, actually don't. Yeah, they don't like the triangles. So this I do understand. But yeah, I'm going to go back into that time lapse anyway. Yeah, that was it really. It is just about the game breakdowns that really, it does need fixing. It is about time Giants, instead of releasing packs that we all pay money for, but they actually fix the game that we've all paid for in the first place. Truthfully, that's what I think. And as a player, as well as I bought the content, same as everybody else. No special offer where Giants give me for free or anything like that, or where, yeah, literally I paid the game. In fact, actually, I paid for the game twice, because I've got the Giants game and I've got the Steam game, and I have to pay on the Steam game because I bought the year 2 thing through my Steam game, and obviously, strangely enough, the Giants game doesn't recognise the, yeah, you can't have the packs, but you can on the Steam game, which is a bit weird really, but hey ho, it is what it is. Yeah, so I bought the game twice. So if anybody should have a say, it's definitely someone who's bought the game twice, definitely. Anyway, yes, it's time to go back into that time lapse. I am going to say, I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. not sure if I've ever done the field properly before this, but this is like a dynamic field edge. Amazing, yeah. You can see where the actual field edge is by the different grass. It's almost like when you look. Yeah, it's almost like when you actually look at the map. See the little speckled edges? It's almost like a dynamic field edge, as in like that you extend a little bit yourself. I did notice something on Hills of Tuscany similar, where it enhances the grass around you, because obviously we've got to the edge of this, but didn't really ever see that's what this was like. Or yeah, didn't. Well, I might be wrong. I can't show you the amount of bales because I did this over 3 recording sessions. I started first thing this morning, then I did an hour at dinner, and then I would imagine it's not going to be many more. If anything, it's going to be 2 or 3 bales more, because we did do yeah, I've done the edge a little bit more, because it's, yeah, you can see where you really do go to. That's the proper field edge, but it is sort of expanding outwards a little bit, these speckledy bits at the edge. So I would imagine we've got 2 or 3 more bales than we did have last time, so I would say 145-ish. We shall see when we actually take them to. Yeah, it has been a monster session though. I am going to. What I'd like to do though is, yeah, let's grab that. Did I switch the engine off? I think I did. Yeah. Right, let's jump into one of the other tracks on this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through till tomorrow morning when it is harvest. Oh my life, that is a massive field of cotton. Yeah, so we're just going to go through and just check I am right. And well, I already checked this in a way. Yeah, dark green, and that's light green. So yeah, we've got, obviously I can't fertilise and lime that because I've got the bales on, which actually is the real way that it is done in real life anyway. So yeah, in the past I've sort of fertilize and lime with them on the field, and it doesn't hurt if it's a little bit more, but they're everywhere, so it's just not. Yeah, I've often got them onto the edge of the field and then done it. That's not too bad, but when you've got them scattered everywhere, and again they are covered in plastic, but I would imagine the fertilizing pellets are probably quite abrasive, so would probably damage the plastic. So I would imagine in real life you wouldn't do that at all. Let's have a quick look at the crops. It should be, well, the sorghum will be completely different. Yeah, it is amazing with sorghum though how it does change quite. Sunflower, I've got nothing to jump into. It's times like wish that you've got player speed mod on, when like I used to always have, where I was at ×3 and you can zip up this field in the blink of an eye. Yeah, so this is the sorghum. Yeah, it's amazing how it changes overnight. Well, actually, over a month, really, when you think about it. It is quite an amazing sort of thing, though. Right, let's jump back into that tractor. And we are going to sleep through till all. Let's check the sales. Sometimes you get drops later on, and it is later on. No, exactly as the tag end of this. This little lot is, yeah, it's still, yeah, digesting. It's up to 5 tons again, so that is actually improving quite a lot. It's going to take this till tomorrow morning, and then that is where we're going to leave it. And yeah, July last month at 8 o'clock. Well, how I play it anyway. Ooh, that's a slightly better increase than we have seen. So not bad at all. These are coming around a little bit. Sunflowers are growing quite a lot. Oh, and I can see that sorghum's changed to gold. Yes, so that's ready to harvest next session. Quite intrigued on seeing how we go with that. We'll get to use the class again. Amazing it is. Yeah, now I'm trying to think, how do I... Yeah, because the bad side of splitting this into 4 is, obviously I'm going to have to go along the road, which means I'm going to have to drag the header trailer with me or get a tractor to drag it with me, because I can't just go up the field like you normally would unless I wish to trample all the crop down. And also, realistically, these also, yeah, you wouldn't go through them in real life. Yeah, even though there might be illusory ghosts in this one. Anyway, before we scoot, let's have a look what's in the sales this morning. 350 horsepower. Oh, planter. A big planter. Wow, that's 200 grand normally. Wow. 18, 4, 12 meter. It's a little bit. Now that is a beaut. It is. I do love that at the extract. So that is. Oh no, it's the hybrid. That's my favourite of the two that does both square and round. Do love that. It is quite amazing. Yeah, I love the fact that you can actually put them together into little mini tubes, whether it's round or square, and you can lift them up with a telehandler into about slabs of 4 or 5. Any more and it starts to get a little bit heavy for them, but it does work a treat. Easily the most easy to stack bales that I've ever had. So we could afford that, but we don't really need it. And don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. It is, yeah, half price, so that's 450 odd grand's worth of kit. But we have got all of our tractors that we've got can manage the equipment that we've got, and the equipment that we've got manages quite nice for the map. So this is quite amazing. Right, now then, let's have a look. How much digestate have we got in this? Up to 10,000, so 5,000 per night. Oh, we're storing, aren't we? Keep forgetting we need to be distributing. Never tried this. If you speed it up and it hasn't got a sell point, I presume it wouldn't give you the cash. What we ought to do though, before doing something so reckless, do we really want to be wasting an hour? Not really. Yeah, I've got the Giants game saver on, because I thought, well, it's only fair. We did say, yeah, we can speed up to 9. It's not. Oh, you'd say check the weather first. That's one thing I am going to say. We don't want to be. No, we're good all day, according to this weather map. So let's speed things up till 9 o'clock. Just want to see what happens. I will presume nothing, but it knows the value. I'm just checking. Ah, you see? You see? That's what I was hoping would happen. I've never done that before, but the game knows the value, and I thought, well, hang on a minute. If it knows the value and you're selling it just because you've not got a sale point on the map, does that mean that you can't sell it? And the answer to that question is, as you've just seen on camera, is actually you can sell that. I didn't know that. It was just a hunch. Right, next session then, we are joking apart. We have got a harvest to do. We've got 3 fantastic trailers which we're going to scatter around the field. Do we stick it straight? Yeah, that's a point. We also need to grab the... Yeah, because we'll stick that straight in there. I'm looking forward to using that again. Now I know the true trick to that other one. Yeah, I am. I really enjoy that, because I know it is how it is done really with most silos. I mean, not saying that there aren't silos similar to we use more readily in the game, but it's more of a trade-off because of the game. Anyway, I'm tired, so I waffle so much more when I'm tired. Yeah, it has been a massive session, really. Well, massive set of sessions. There's a lot. But I always find, though, to be honest, it's the gain that you gain from the game, if that makes any sense. The gain that you gain from the game is commensurate to the effort that you put in. Obviously, the size of the farm does affect that. You can't start with a start from scratch farm and expect to grow to be a millionaire overnight. It's not going to happen. But all of it still requires an awful lot of work. It really does, to get anything in this game. So I'm not chuffed about that. I just went out on a limb and I thought, well, hang on a minute. If the game says you can sell, it knows the proper value. Does it sell it to a foreign market? Well, it does indeed. Right, anyway, all that remains to be said for this particular session is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope that you're going to stick with me on this exciting journey on this absolutely fantastic map. I've got to be honest, I'm quite pleased as well that we moved here. It's a real cracking field in so much as I often try to do that, and that's the start from scratcher in me. Yeah, I've got to recognise if you can build a farmyard, is there enough room? I mean, this one there was a little bit, but it was a small, tight one. And I mean, this one has got quite a lot of land on the side, but it's at the edge of the field. Doesn't really. This one, though, however, has got, apart from the massive fact that their solar panel, the array is literally takes a massive square out of it, is quite a lot of space on there for building a fairly decent farmyard. There is. Is that Bible in there in the middle? I don't think it is. I think we looked at this at the beginning, this little square here. You can't always see my mouse, but I think you can now. Yeah, that square there, we can't really buy that as houses and stuff. So, yeah, there isn't really. That would be the ideal spot if we're trying to do this section set here. But to be honest, for 23 and 9, which is still a massive amount, and we've still got those two over there, I think this makes quite a perfect farmyard, really. So I'm quite chuffed that we moved here, really. Oh, and I must remember, we've got that massive amount of water to bring over here, the free water. Let's just have a look. Now, gestate's got, of course, it shifted that 10 tons in. Herbicide, lime, seed, solid fertilizer, roads. Oh, now then, do we want to sell all of it? This is true. Oh, that was. You don't always think, do the consequences of your action. Let's just now knock that to storing again. Because we do want some definitely left. I think, haven't we just sold our... Did we stick everything in here? No, we didn't. It's actually in the... It's in the... I can't remember its name. The fertilizer spread. The Bredel. That's the one. Yeah, it's in the Bredel. What's left? It was about 1.5 tons. So hopefully by 10 o'clock, this will have trundled it quite a bit. So that'll be 7.5 tons of fertilizer. We haven't really got anywhere to store it though. So I mean, the best we can possibly do is to grab it out in something like the Bredel and then just scatter it into a line of fertilizer. Again, the other thing that little mods that you miss is things like the object storage mods. And oh, hang on a minute, isn't there? I'm sure I saw something that was like a storage thing like that. I'm sure I did. Sure, it really just rings a bell. Yeah, I put the grooming pack in. I did sort of say I was going to do that. Oh, it has got the homemade RTK state. Oh, it is in sheds. Yeah, that is true. So, sure, I've seen it. Or is it that one? Bale and pallet storage. Yeah, 29 grand. So, not quite. Is that the one though that people use that is sort of semi-automatic? It would be interesting to have a go at that, because obviously that's the one thing I'm going to say that is a little bit missing in the game. And I know modders do put them on their map, and it does look like that. So perhaps it is. In fact, we've saved the game. Let's just switch. No, it's been a long session already. We will do it though going forwards. Definitely, we'll do a bit of a test on that. But all that remains to be said for this particular session is goodbye for now.